me come to you immediately, Kunle.
Yes.
You come from, of course, Nigeria.
Yes.
The most populous nation on the continent, a country that has, of course, the largest economy on the continent. In many ways, some people will tell you 1 out of every 4 Africans may, in fact, be a Nigerian. You agree with that?
Yes, I do.
Why couldn't you do what you are doing here? Why did you leave Lagos? It's one of the largest cities in the world. Plenty of market there.
Yes. And funny that you said that because I'm actually, setting up over there. I went back home 2014. In 2015, to go basically set up what I have over here there because I found out that, there's a lot of opportunities to be able to also create jobs and also be able to, even help the market in terms of customization and also branding. I found out that, a lot of people love, to customize things. And I mean, it just makes a whole lot of sense to be able to, put my own ideas and be able to help that, to become, something big. So it definitely, does make sense, for me to do this. My own way of giving back, to the community, where I came from. And something that I'm also looking on doing is that for every shirt that is being customized, it will actually give to a non-profit organization, or actually to be able to, go out there to the rural areas to be able to create, give them clothing, for the people that, are less privileged. So that's my own way of also using what I have, to be able to, give back to the Nigerian community.
Very interesting. Paul, you obviously have crisscrossed the continent, and there are some people who will say there must be a correlation between democracy, openness, societies that are relatively more open, and those are places where perhaps you are very likely to get a lot of innovators, as opposed to societies which are politically closed, which do not allow, for example, freedom of expression. True?
You're right in a sense that, yes, in some areas where there is a lot of innovation, surprisingly, there are also repressive governments. Take, for example, Rwanda. Rwanda is, by any measure, considered a repressive government, but there are a lot of young people.
But
I think it's out of that.
Rwanda itself says, in fact, it's one of the more democratic societies on the African continent.
That's subject to debate. But when you look at what they have been able to do, despite the repression, despite these young people are saying, you know what, we need to think outside of the box. We need to be risk takers. We need to figure out a way of going around the repression. You also talk about like countries like Nigeria. Nigeria, you can say it's very vibrant, but at the same time, you can say it has those tendencies where people are not allowed to do certain things. But look at, they're leading in terms of innovation. They're leading in terms of entrepreneurship. The biggest, the largest millionaire, or the biggest guy who, like Dangote, he's one of Aliko Dangote. He's one of the richest men in Africa.
He's not one of the richest.
Yes,
he's the richest.
The richest man in Africa. But he has thrived in an environment that a lot of people would not want to do business in. So where there is that kind of, the higher the risk, the higher the return of investment. So these people who are willing to take risks in such countries, they are doing very, very well.
But what about cultures? Isn't also culture a factor? There are cultures which are more likely to, more amenable to take risks. There are others which are a little bit more conservative.
You could say that. You could say that. I'll give an example of, I'll draw, let's say, Tanzania versus Kenya. In Kenya, you have very, very vibrant, the community is very vibrant. Everybody is a business person. Then you go to Tanzania, on the other hand, people do businesses, but they're not business savvy as Kenyans. So culture plays a role, but it's not, it plays a little to a certain extent. It doesn't stop people from doing what they're supposed to do. In some cases, it might hinder what they're supposed to accomplish, but I think it's very minimal.